My name's Lewis. I'm certain that the heavens laugh at our plans, the way the clouds pour on us on our best days, and smile warmly with the sunshine on our worst. Nothing is in our control. On my 21st birthday, I was informed of my parents' fate. They had left from home on the way to my dorm to surprise me. I suppose the semi on the wrong side of the road surprised them more. My mom was 42, and my dad was 45. They had only had 2 years to enjoy being free to walk around naked in their own home before passing away. This all happened 10 months ago, though. I wouldn't say I've healed from it by a long shot, but I suppose the pain isn't completely debilitating anymore. Or, I guess it wasn't until about a week ago. Throughout these 10 months, I've had very little interaction with the outside world. The only people I had even spoken to were my best friend Caleb and my girlfriend Mara. They've stuck by me through the fits of rage, the tears, and even an episode of attempted self-harm. I'm not proud of the space I've been in, but if you've lost your parents, I'm sure you can understand my distress. 2 months ago, Caleb called to let me know the semi-driver was in the end stages of his court appearances. Apparently, he had spun some twisted web of truth that made it seem like my parents had been the unfortunate result of a wild deer running into the road, causing the truck to swerve and crash. However, from what I saw of the footage, it appeared to me that the truck had been veering into the lane and not a sudden swerve. The guy had no real credibility, though. He claimed he hadn't touched drugs since his last rehabilitation 4 months prior to the crash, but his fidgeting in court and the constant scratching and jumping told a different story. Nevertheless, the court seemed to sympathize with the father of three that just wanted to feed his kids after finally being allowed back into their lives, not realizing they had damned two wonderful parents that gave the clothes off their back every time for their own child. It didn't matter to me, though. No amount of prison time would bring my parents back. I was in so much pain that I didn't even care about revenge or the future at all. I just wanted them back. I only made one court appearance, though. I just couldn't bring myself to care. 2 weeks ago, things changed. I started getting notes in the mail. Not letters or even envelope papers, just little pieces of paper with notes on them. The first one asked, "Why are you doing this to me?" And the next said, "They deserve to die." One even said, "Why didn't you just go with them?" I had enough notes to fill up a cabinet. Mara asked me why I kept them, and I didn't really have an answer. She offered to let me stay at her apartment to get out of the dorms, but I was more comfortable there. Mara was kind like that. She would have done anything for me. I wish I had realized how deep that went then. Last week I started to notice something about the notes. I had assumed that it was a ton of people bullying me after finding out about the case. I had passed it off as something stupid that people would get tired of. But on Monday I noticed that each note had similar writing, maybe even identical. How could one person be writing so many notes every day and leaving them in my box with no one seeing them? I told Mara about it. I've never seen Mara quite so angry before. Then she paused and took out her phone. She had a picture pulled up of some legal papers. I wasn't sure what they were, but they made her eyes burn even more. Then she just left. No bye, no love you, just gone. I figured I'd let her cool off and not worry about it. At the crack of dawn, I got a call from Caleb. "Dude, it's 4 in the... Put on some clothes and come to 375 Leighton Lane now." What? "I'll send the address. Just get here. Now." The line hung up. I was so confused and tired, but Caleb was never one to joke about things. I grabbed my keys and slid on my hoodie and headed out. On my way there, 3 cop cars sped past me. I wasn't sure what was up with this night, but I was ready for it to be over. It took 10 minutes to get there, but At least I figured out where the police were going. I'll never forget what I saw there. On one side were three officers with their weapons pointed, yelling for someone to drop the knife. At this point, the crowd had gotten so big that I couldn't see who they were yelling at. I tried looking for Caleb among the crowd, but that was fruitless too. He wouldn't have called me out just to see a standoff. Just then, a head in front of me moved, just enough to see a man on his knees in front of somebody with a knife to his neck. It was the driver, the one who hit my parents, the one whose face I'd only seen once. The next second, I heard Mara's voice. She yelled, not to me or anyone else there. She simply yelled to the universe, I love you, Lewis. The next thing I heard was Caleb. Wait! I saw him burst through the crowd into the middle. The next part feels like a blur, but I remember it like it's the only memory I have. The knife pulled away, slitting the trucker's throat, then came back hard, stabbing directly into his left eye, deep into his head. Immediately after, I heard a plethora of gunshots. The doctor described them to me later as such. The first shot that hit grazed Mara's leg. The second shot hit her chest, with an exit wound in her back. It ripped right through her left lung. The third shot hit her cheek, barely enough to rip through, but enough is enough. The fourth shot hit her shoulder, no exit wound. Two shots hit Caleb. The first shot hit his leg, no exit wound, but the bone was hit badly. The second one landed right in his heart and came out on the other end. They both dropped to the ground like sacks of potatoes. I ripped through the crowd and ran over, dropping to my knees beside them. Neither of them said anything. They both looked at me and smiled. Why? Why smile at me? Why now? The smiles faded as the light left their eyes. The officer grabbed me and moved me. But what was the point? As the ambulances loaded them up, the sun started to rise, and I knew it would be such a beautiful sunny day. Yo, yo, as you may have noticed, I am a brand new narrator. We will be doing more things very soon, between animations and other narrations, podcasts, whatnot. But just to get started, I wanted to put out something for the first thing. This is it. If you enjoyed, like, follow, subscribe. We'll have more of this coming. And if you didn't enjoy, man, I've been told I'm not allowed to say that. So if you didn't enjoy, come back next time. Hopefully we'll have something better. That's all for now.